The United States and Israel are conducting precision strikes on targets in Iran. Operation Epic Fury and Operation Roaring Lion are underway. Currently, the supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is believed to be dead. This is Urban Sentinel. Let's get into it. February 28th, they announced the Operation Epic Fury, which is the U.S. operation, and Operation Roaring Lion, which is the Israeli operation. Simultaneous strikes across Iran, hitting areas in Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, with possible targets in Natanz, Iraq, and Tabriz, and a few others. Most of them were either storage facilities for weapons, production facilities for both conventional weapons, possibly also with nuclear weapons. Previously struck nuclear facilities, I'm guessing, because those are also on the target list, as well as several other key communications and military operations, basically to try to cripple as much as they can on the ground, as well as targeting their navy. Now, with that being said, Iran retaliated against the U.S. forces out in the Gulf. Several missiles struck a naval base in Bahrain, and also an airbase in Qatar, and one in the UAE were also targeted. The extent of any damage and any loss or injury to personnel isn't known at this time. Now, the president had stated that he wants a regime change in Iran. Now, if the death of the Ayatollah is confirmed to be legit, that is a regime change, but what that regime is going to change into is still yet to be determined. You literally have to wait until the dust figuratively and literally settles down to make a determination as to what is going to happen next. But just a few days ago, it was reported that the Ayatollah had given instructions to the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, that if he should die, that they are to basically fire everything, launch everything, and launch all their attacks. And it has already been confirmed previously that there are potential large numbers of sleeper agents within the United States and also other locations throughout the globe, especially in Europe, where there are U.S. interests, U.S. bases, and other allies, that effectively these sleeper agents could be that call-up that firing everything doesn't necessarily mean all of their missiles and their drones and everything else. You could be sending out all of these active agents to then go out and select and hit their targets. Now, with that being said, there is a domino effect of everything that's going on. Right now, between today, which is still Saturday, the 28th, and Monday coming up on the 2nd, you're going to see a dramatic shift of things going on. Now, the first area that we're going to notice is the global shipping around the Strait of Hormuz. It's simply put, it's a chokehold to begin with, as it is a physical, geographic, narrow point to which shipping passes back and forth. Now, even though our Navy is substantially more powerful than their Navy, they're probably not going to go ship to ship, fighting it off, but there are tankers out there. There are depots out there. They could line and mine the entire strait with sea mines, slowing the process down, perhaps even hitting a few of the tankers that are loaded up with crude oil or loaded up with liquefied natural gas. That by itself won't completely shut down everything, but it will cause a significant delay and slow things down, forcing vessels to now take a longer way around, which that also then leads into the overall cost. All these commercial vessels pay insurance costs, and when you have conflicts such as what's going on right now in those areas, the cost goes up. They pay more, and then the consumers on the receiving end also pay more. So you can expect that just by 1, 2, maybe even 5 days worth of this activity, the cost of goods getting shipped anywhere is going to increase, I'd say, to a substantial amount, because they either have to take the long way around, going out through the Mediterranean and around Africa that way, or vice versa. No more cutting through the middle. Second thing that it's going to do, of course, is affect the overall supply chain of what things are ordered, when they get there, and how long it takes. And that's going to, again, increase the cost of the goods that we see on the shelf when they do show up on the shelf. Energy, as it is, will be at a premium at this point in time, because I believe it was the Brent crude oil hit $73 a barrel before they announced the operation to begin with. And it probably could reach $100 a barrel within the next few days, depending upon how the stock market views the activity going on. And that by itself is going to cause a dramatic shift in everything. Iran by itself also produces 2% of the global fertilizer, which, yes, 2% is a small number compared to the total amount. But for the countries that they sell to, those countries primarily use it for feed crop, for livestock, as well as some sustainment crop, food for trading. That's going to throw off the availability in the markets, because even though we may see something come from Brazil to our shelves for food, they're trading with another country, possibly in Africa or over in India, that are getting fertilizer from Iran. And now they have to resource a new area to get fertilizer from. But of course, all those other countries are going to be looking to double up, triple up the amount they have to make sure they have enough for them. So there's going to be a shortfall supply of fertilizer available, which coming into this growing season is going to affect how widespread that goes, how far the agricultural industry can stretch itself out and adjust to that small 2% drop in fertilizer availability. Number 3, Homeland Security. As I mentioned before, sleeper cell agents and also sympathizer threats. It's a sort of symmetrical, asymmetrical, back and forth type of thing. Even though we're basically over there in Iran, they also have the capability of reaching over here without even physically coming in. They do have a robust cybersecurity system of hackers and operators that don't operate directly out of Iran. They operate out of hotels and motels all around the world. They operate in other cities, other countries, and even here, if they are in here domestically, they're setting up shop and operations. They've probably been here embedded for several weeks. And with that being said, that enables them to hit things such as our cell phone communication system, wastewater treatment facilities, railway communications, and railway management systems. They can shut down a lot of the ports. A lot of the newer shipping ports, especially on the West Coast, are all automated or a large percentage automated. You interfere with that, shipping literally goes nowhere. Nothing physically moves at all. So all of those little things can go on that can cause delays and make everything sort of back up one after the other. And if you can't figure out what's going on and you can't get ahead of it, it makes things very difficult to operate back here. The next thing that you have to be aware of is what more people would consider the conventional means of attack. And that would be the direct kinetic attack, good old-fashioned terrorist actions that you can see, hear, feel, and touch. They fall into two primary groups. Group 1 simply looks to get a high body count, plain and simple. Get as many people and as fast as possible. So you think explosives, you think gas attacks, you think water poisoning. The other group looks for a fight. They're looking to hit high-value targets, police stations, fire stations, municipal government buildings, hospitals, universities. And then when the first responders and everyone start rushing in to take care of the casualties, the victims, and everything else, the second wave of attack starts going, and it repeats that process basically until you stop them dead where they are. Now we move into the fourth one, the entire breakdown of the system. So at this point, we're looking from days to weeks to months. Now the supply chain is a just-in-time system. It's a very fine line of operations. It can deal with a few small hiccups, but once you start stretching that to 3 days, to 9 days, to 12 days, then things get a little bit dicey. And in many cases, a lot of warehouses for the big box stores have enough in the warehouse to keep their stores within their delivery area operational for a few days. But they expect and receive normal supplies on a weekly basis that they then rotate out and ship everything out. Well, if those outside supplies aren't coming in, or they're delayed by several days, that of course slows everything down when it gets to the retail level where we are. Now, the best thing that I can suggest is from now until Tuesday, so 18 to 48 hours since this whole thing kicked off, mark it on your calendar, Tuesday, March 3rd. Check the stock market, the volatility index. You'll have an idea of where the stock market is going, up or down. Look at the information that's available from the news as far as the actual Operation Epic Fury itself, because what they determine and state as the status is, are things going well, or are things holding the line, or did something go horribly wrong after I finish this video, and now it's going in a completely different direction. That'll give you an idea of where the stance is on the Iranian regime change. And you also have to think about a few other things too. Start thinking about filling up your gas tank if you've got a vehicle, get that filled up. And if you can store gas cans, keep enough gas on hand to put an extra 100 miles into your vehicle. If you're going out to the grocery store, start looking at a lot of the long-term durable goods, shelf-stable stuff, and look at the things that you can build and make multiple meals from with fewer ingredients. I would definitely say if you have the space, consider planting a garden. It doesn't have to be big. It can be in the ground. It can be in a container on your porch. It can be in a small pot on your windowsill, whatever it is. But start growing something, because yes, you're still able to buy things off the shelf at the grocery stores now, but you want to be able to, if you're not already doing it, get yourself a little bit of an extra buffer for sustainment later on down the road. Take into consideration any medical needs that you have, any prescriptions that need to be filled or picked up. If you got pets, don't forget about your pets. Make sure that them and you have at least 3 weeks worth of food and water to keep you ahead of the curve, because what you don't want to happen is the people that aren't watching this video, they're going to wake up on a Wednesday or Thursday, realize that things are getting a little out of control, and they're going to make a mad dash to the stores. And that's when you're really going to see the actual effect on the supply chain, because they will drain everything that is there, and it won't be able to re-up and resupply itself quickly enough. So you want to be able to get out, get the things that you need, and put those aside and have them set up ahead of time. So if that madness does happen, you don't have to worry about going out there fighting a mob for everything from toilet paper and soap to penicillin, whatever the case may be. Now, one of the other things is, if you've got some people that you can trust, they're reliable, they're good at being there when you need them, and vice versa, give a call, get some communications going, work out a couple of plans if you don't have something already. Doesn't have to be anything complex, doesn't have to be anything super intricate, simple is easier, but just have a general idea of, if this happens, where do we meet up? How do we get in touch with each other? What's a good place to move to if we have to relocate? Who has the capability of picking people up? Sharing supplies, working on pooling money and resources together for your food, your meds, clothing, everything like that, because it may be a simple case that everything is available, but costs more. So if you can pinch your pennies and put them together and buy more of it and then split the difference afterwards, that makes it a lot easier. That's less stress for you, less hassle, one less thing to worry about. And you want to try to keep some cash on hand, because if the ATMs and the banking systems go down, you may have stores and businesses open, but they won't be taking credit cards, they won't be taking gift cards, they won't be doing any digital transactions, no tap to pay, none of that stuff. They'll just want simple cash, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Keep the bills small. Don't keep them all in one place. Don't walk around flashing your cash. Get in, buy the bare minimum of what you need, pay, and go. That's how you want to kind of keep it going. But at that point, it's the only thing I can suggest to you is, if you haven't already, watch these 2 videos that should be coming up on the screen. They'll give you a little bit more information about what you can expect and what I think could be going on over the next few weeks, depending upon, again, how long this actual operation lasts and the end results from it once it's over. But that's all I got for you for in this one. I'll catch you in the next one.